All right, a little question, a little visualization. I'm going to show you some things, and there we go. So, do we know what this is? Let's try to make it out better. Look at this. That's the back side, and that's the front side. This is Bolivar, basically. Venezuela. This used to have real value, real wealth, and I'm talking just a few years ago. Now Venezuela, this no longer has anything, no value whatsoever. This is like tissue paper, toilet paper. That's what it is. All right. So we got this. This is here. This is the Russian ruble. Now I know Russia still uses rubles, but they change every, I'm going to be off on this, but every 10, 15 years, they change it. Still call it ruble for the most part, but they change the look, they change whatever, of it, and then they no longer accept the older ones, and they issue newer ones, and then throughout that, then they take value off. So on top of inflation and how much their money's inflating, and how much prices are going up, like people call it. It's not that how much your value of your dollar is going down, your ruble is going down. They just, hyper, extenuate that and speed it up, accelerate it by their exchange. You want to call it that every time they do it. So this is worth nothing. It can buy you nothing at all. So toilet paper, tissue paper, that kind of stuff. Then we have those two now, I just showed you. The Russian ruble and that Venezuela. No, they're worth nothing. You can't do anything with them. You can't, buy anything for them. They're not even used for anything useful, right? And you have this. This is a $50 bill, U.S. Federal Reserve note, all right? Not even U.S., just a Federal Reserve note in the U.S. This here still has some value. What this could buy you 10 years ago was so much more than it can buy you today. What this could buy you 30 years ago was so much more than it can buy you today. And it continues. And it will continue now until it goes to zero. And this is worth nothing, worthless like the ruble and the note from Venezuela. I showed you. So these things here basically are the same. The only difference is people still accept this one. Still do, for now. And that is coming to an end. Now, the other thing I'm going to show you is this right here. This is a $100,000 bill, if you want to call it, from the game Cash Flow, from Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad's Cash Flow game. And this, you can't go to a store and buy goods and services with this. You can't have someone work on your house and you pay them in these. It doesn't look like that, but this has a use. This is used in a game for entertainment, a game to actually learn from, because you can learn from the game Cash Flow. It's a great game, especially for kids, to get started learning how to use debt and how to look at money and assets. The game Cash Flow, I can't recommend highly enough. But this is from that, so this still has use. And I want to compare that to these. These no longer have use. These used to be able to buy goods and services with. These no longer have a use at all. This, you could never buy goods and services with. You never could. But this has a use. Still has a use. Like I said, this here, this has a use for goods and services right now. Once that's done, and it's coming to an end real fast now, I've been talking about it for a while, and it's sped up so much faster, that this will have no use at one time. It's going to be as worthless as the ruble and the bolivar. Now, this here, this is a silver eagle. All right? It's a silver eagle, 1 ounce, 1 troy ounce silver eagle by the United States Mint. This is 1 ounce of silver. This here has value. All right? It fluctuates because of different things that go on and the way they're playing around and messing around with it. But this has real value. It will never lose value. If this is ever looked at by people of not having any value or worth for barter or anything, it would never happen. But if we'll just say if, we're going to play the if game. If some people are like, I don't want that, it's worthless. This is silver. Silver is used industrial too. This is used in so much electronics, automated cars, used for all their solar crap they're pushing down, shoving down our throats. This here has a use. Hence, it has value. Hence, if someone needs some silver for whatever it is, computers or whatever else, this can be melted down and used. All right? That's the difference between that and this piece of paper. As long as people are accepting it, it has a use. But there coming a time when it's not going to be accepted by people. Then it will have no use at all. Just like the ruble and the thing from Venezuela. This will always have a use. Always. Always will have a use. And this is recognized all across the world. Period. No matter what, people want this and will use it. Whether it is for barter, trade, industrial, like I said, this always has a use. So it always holds value. That's it. So I'm saying this because now, comparing fiat currencies like the 3 we had there, the US dollar, the ruble, the bolivar, those are all fiat, which means they have no use. Really, they have no real value to them at all. That's it. Think of fiat as tickets at a game from a carnival or, some sort of amusement park. You get tickets, not so much nowadays, but you used to get tickets. Nowadays they're digits on a card. But you used to get tickets, and then you bring those tickets up to their store or their little prize location, and you would trade in those tickets to get a stuffed animal, to get some candy, to get whatever, because that's your payment for the tickets you're giving them. That's probably as close as I can say what fiat currency is. It has really no value, except for at those small windows when people are accepting it for items and services. That's it. Like poker chips at the casino. If you had poker chips from 20 years ago from a casino that is out of service or still operational but no longer accepts those poker chips because they go through them every now and then and they revamp and they use different ones, that kind of stuff, and they do deadlines, they no longer want those poker chips. Those poker chips are plastic or they're wood or whatever they're made of. Those poker chips are useless, really. They used to have value. People did want them, but not anymore. That's basically fiat currency. Like stuff you'd get at Chuck E. Cheese or whatever else. I'm trying to explain this as simple as I can. So now we are towards the end of a cycle, and we might actually be right at the doorstep of the end of the cycle. And if you are still playing this game with fiat currencies, once it's done, it's done. Once people no longer want it, it's worthless. It's worthless. You can't get anything for it. So you're stuck with it. Whatever you have accumulated in that fiat currency, you are stuck with. Versus making sure you have assets, making sure you have, guns and ammo or food or tools or whatever else you needed, medicines, whatever. Instead of making sure you had those things, you're holding on to all this fiat currency. Once it's done, it's done. you're at the end of the road. You're out of luck. I don't know what to tell you. I'm saying the same thing for everyone in IRAs, 401ks, that kind of stuff, CDs, if people still do CDs, and stocks, bonds, mutual funds, all that. That's all based off of fiat for the most part. Very few things that are inside those 401ks, those IRAs, whatever, have actual real value. If it's mining stocks or whatever, energy stocks, some of those have real value to them, and you actually get kickback for it if they do good, whatever. But other than that, a majority, I would say 98%, 99% of all the stuff that's held in 401ks, IRAs, is just all based off this fiat currency system. Once it's done, all those are done too. Wiped out, zero. That's it. So if you think, I'm good, my retirement's going to be good, I'm great because of my pension, that's coming down. I mean, believe me, I wish I had that book with me to show you. Who Stole My Pension by Robert Kiyosaki. It's a great book. I can't recommend that highly enough. But once it's zeroed, in zeros, you are going to be out of luck if you didn't do anything to help yourself. You didn't have land. You didn't have tools. You didn't have guns, ammunition, food, water access. Whatever it is you're going to need to survive, if you don't have that or you're not working on that, once it's done, you can't purchase that with those fiat dollars that you have saved up and accumulated. You just can't. It's gone. It's done. See you bye. Anyways, I just want to go over this to get people to realize that it's serious and to think about this. I'm not saying to get out of all this stuff. I know what I did and what I would do, but that's not for me to say. I'm just saying, think about this and think about this as a real juncture that you might have time still to do something else, to save yourself and help yourself and your family. But anyways, I thank you for watching. If you like this, hit the like, subscribe, that kind of stuff, and stay vigilant. Protect yourself, your family, your health, protect your wealth.